Hello, welcome to A to Z Ozone. Today what we'll be doing is we'll be showing you how to change your fuse in your Aqua-6 or how to check your fuse in your Aqua-6 to make sure that it is intact and is in working condition to determine if that is the reason that your Aqua-6 has failed. So, that having been said, the first thing you're going to do is flip your unit over. You'll have 4 rubber dots on the back. Those cover up a single screw each. So there are 6 screws that you'll have to take out. So go ahead and take off your little rubber dots. Place them on the unit off to the sides, that way they don't lose any of their stickiness. Go ahead and remove those screws. Alright, then crack open your unit after you remove those 6 screws. It'll open up into 2 sides. The right side being your ozone cell and board, your air pump, your transformer, and then you have your control board over on this side. So, the fuse is actually located on the control board. I'll turn the unit a little bit for you. Right here underneath this black door is where your fuse will be. You'll need to have a little tiny screwdriver or something of that nature to which you can pry with. So on one side of it you'll see a little opening. On this unit it's on the left side, sometimes it might be on the right side. Usually they're all on the same side, but just depending on how old your unit is, whether it could be a different holder and facing a different way, yada yada yada. So, in generally speaking, right in this area will be where your fuse holder is. You'll just go ahead and take your screwdriver, put it in there, and kind of pull out on the door so that way it'll open. That will then expose your fuse. So, if your unit is not working right off the bat whenever you get the unit, 9 times out of 10 what's the matter is this fuse just isn't fully seated. So you'll just open it, push it down, and then it'll start working perfectly fine after that. If you cannot tell whether the fuse is blown, you can pull it out and look at it. You should see a little tiny hair-like filament going down the middle of it, to which if your fuse is blown, that will be broken, or it won't be there, or it'll be splattered against the glass because it'll just heat up and explode essentially. But nothing will break out of the inside of the glass, so don't worry about anything hurting you, your unit, or anything like that. It's all self-contained to where it's just going to short out inside there and you'll be fine. Another way that you can test it is if you have an ohm meter. Touch each side of it with your ohm meter, and if it ohms out, then it's working. So you check your fuse. For happenstance, we'll say this one is bad. So you look around the edge of it, and on the edge of it, it'll give you a number. This one says F500AL250V. So that means it is a 0.5 amp fuse, and it's rated up to 250 volts. So you can usually find these at your local like auto parts store, your Home Depots, those type of places. So that way you don't have to request one from us and then have to wait a period of time until you can actually receive it. You can just go pick one up at your local auto parts or whatnot. So we'll go ahead and replace the fuse. So to replace the fuse, it's essentially you just place it in between those 2 little clamps, because there's a clamp on each side of your fuse holder to hold the fuse in place. Press it down until you hear a click, and then that means that it's being held in place by the fuse holder. Then you can go ahead and close your door. At this point, you should go ahead and close the unit. Put it like this. You don't have to put the screws in yet. I would just recommend closing the shell to reduce the risk of any type of electrical shock to yourself. And then at this point, you can go ahead and take your power cord and plug it into the outlet just to test to make sure that everything's working properly. So go ahead, hit your power button and select a function so that way you can just view that it's actually creating ozone. Alright, and as you can tell, our unit is working properly, and we have now successfully replaced the fuse on the unit. So at this point, you can go ahead and turn the unit over and put your 6 screws back in and place your 4 rubber black bumpers back over the screws to make sure that they, or so that way you can reduce the amount of vibration if you have this setting on top of a countertop or something of that nature, just so that way it doesn't make as much noise. Alright, now this unit has been completely repaired and it's now functioning again. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave a comment in the line below. Tell us what we can do to better improve our video, to give us more ideas of what you want to see in a video. Anything of that nature is welcomed and appreciated. You can also leave comments on our website, a2zozone.com. We will respond to any comments and we'll make a video for anything that you can recommend or suggest. So just give us a few words, tell us what you want to see, and we'll try and get that ready and out for you as soon as we can.